What's up everybody, Dr. McKay here. A quick update before we get into this video. This video is a test video to see what you guys feel of like this type of content on a new channel, because I want to basically create a new channel called Sci-Fi Nerd, which is adjacent to my Dr. McKay's Gaming, so I could talk about all manner of sci-fi shows. So video is a test video for you guys, my audience, to see if you like this type of video. If you do, then please do leave a comment on the video itself, and then I will set up a secondary channel so I can upload videos on that one to do talking about sci-fi shows and stuff. And obviously, if you want to know more about the channel, please leave a comment, and obviously I'll get back to you. With all that said though, I hope you enjoyed the video. Let's get into it. What's up, sci-fi nerds? I'm your host, Dr. McKay, and welcome to my first video for my new channel, Sci-Fi Nerd. This video is going to be an explainer of the Stargates in the hit sci-fi franchise Stargate SG-1, Atlantis, and Universe. This video is going to be broken down into 3 chapters explaining the origins and type of Stargates shown in the show, a detailed breakdown of each Stargate and how the Stargates function and work. So without further ado, let's go. The origins of the Stargate in the show are somewhat shrouded in the millions of years lost to history of the Alterans, better known as the Ancients. It is believed that the Alteran, known as Emilius, first came up with the concept of the Stargate eons ago in their home galaxy, better known now as the Ori galaxy. Sometime after the Alterans left their galaxy for ours, the Milky Way galaxy, they created the Destiny, a ship to travel through the universe, and on this ship and many other small seed ships we find the oldest version of the Stargate, the Destiny Stargate. We don't have an exact timeline of the creation of this version of Stargate, but we do know that the Ancients were on Earth during this time. The next Stargate to be created by the Ancients are the Milky Way Stargates. These gates were deposited on many worlds throughout the Milky Way by the Ancients for instantaneous travel between worlds. These Stargates are the main Stargates seen in SG-1 and are more advanced than the Destiny Stargates. The oldest Milky Way Stargate we know of was found in Antarctica on Earth by Jack O'Neill and Samantha Carr, close to where the ancient outpost is. It is believed that the Ancients used this Stargate to return to Earth after abandoning Atlantis in the Pegasus Galaxy, which brings us to the last Stargate created by the Ancients. The Pegasus Stargate is considered more advanced than the Milky Way Stargate. It is not known if the Pegasus Gate was created before the Ancients arrived in the Pegasus Galaxy or after they settled it. But what we do know is that the Ancients, like in the Milky Way, seeded many worlds with Stargates and even placed many in orbit above planets. The Pegasus Gates were the last gates to ever be created by the Ancients. Other notable Stargates in the Stargate universe are the Tolan Stargate. This Stargate was created by the Tolans and the Nox. It functions the same as a regular Stargate, but is vastly different in design, being smaller and slimmer than the Ancients Stargate, and was of a pale white colour. It also lacked a visible dialing device or DHD, but nonetheless it is still a Stargate. The next one is the Ori Supergate. This behemoth of a Stargate was created by the Ori to allow them to bring their ships from their own galaxy to ours, the Milky Way. The Stargate or Supergate requires an enormous amount of power to work, probably a black hole that they used. There are only 2 currently known Supergates to exist, one in the Milky Way galaxy and one in the Ori galaxy. Starting off with the Destiny Stargate, this gate probably a prototype version is unique, being the only one to completely spin while dialing. It is of a darker color than the Milky Way stargates and has white chevrons and symbols. The Destiny Gate has 36 symbols and 9 chevrons. The Stargate glyphs do not represent the local star constellations as the later models do, since they are used in many different galaxies along the path that Destiny follows. The gate is also slightly smaller than the other versions as well. This gate also has limited range compared to the other Stargates, only being able to reach nearby Stargates in the path that Destiny follows through the universe. There is also no DHD to control the Stargate, however it is controlled by a small handheld remote device instead, and without this device you cannot dial the Stargate. The only exception is on Destiny, where the Destiny computer can dial the Stargate itself. It is also worth noting that the Destiny Stargates are made from lesser materials than its counterparts in the Milky Way and the Pegasus galaxy, being easily damaged or destroyed. Lastly, the way the Destiny Stargates work in relation to their symbols is still a mystery, and it does not follow the traditional method of 6 points in space. While it does use the same 7 symbol method to dial like the Milky Way and Pegasus Stargate system, the Destiny constantly moves through space, changing all the points in space, meaning that the Destiny Gate uses another unknown method to connect to the other Stargates along the path. Also, all Destiny Stargates reside on platforms due to the gate needing to spin while dialing. Next we have the Milky Way Stargate. This gate is of a dark grey colour with a diameter of 6.7 meters and weighs roughly 29 tons. This gate has 38 symbols of various star constellations engraved on its inner ring that can spin inside of the gate, allowing for the use of manual dialing without a DHD. It has 9 orangey red chevrons, with the top chevron moving up and down to encode and lock symbols while dialing. This gate is the second model created by the Ancients and is found throughout the Milky Way galaxy. It is made almost entirely out of naquadah, a metal that has extreme energy conducting and reducing properties. Unlike the Destiny Stargate, the Milky Way gates have enough power to connect to every single Stargate within the Milky Way galaxy, with the power source provided by their DHDs. Speaking of the DHD is a companion device that sits near to the Stargate and provides power to the gate. Each DHD has 38 symbols corresponding with the Stargate on it and can be pressed in the correct order to dial the Stargate, with the last press being of the big red central button to activate the Stargate. And lastly, the Pegasus Stargate. This gate is the latest design created by the Ancients. This gate is slightly larger than the Milky Way Stargate and is coloured silver with a blue inner ring and is made again mostly of naquadah. Unlike the Milky Way Stargate, this gate has 36 symbols comprised of star constellations in the Pegasus galaxy. These symbols appear on the gate's inner ring as blue lights that move around the Stargate to the corresponding chevron, of which the gate has 9 that light up blue. This gate has no moving parts and thus can't be dialed manually like the Milky Way Stargate. The Pegasus Stargates also come with DHDs to be able to dial and provide power to their Stargates. However, some of the Stargates placed in the Pegasus galaxy reside in space, also known as space gates. These do not come with DHDs and require a gate ship or puddle jumper to dial, using the ship's own power source and DHD to activate the Stargate. Lastly, due to the Pegasus Stargate being more advanced than the Milky Way Stargate, if the two Stargates are near each other, the Pegasus Gate supersedes the Milky Way Gate and becomes the dominant gate at that location. So, gate travel, how does it work? Get ready for some sciencey stuff. Stargates are huge superconductors that create artificial wormholes through space between two gates, allowing instantaneous travel across space. So let's start with how to dial a Stargate. Firstly, the Stargate needs a power source from either its companion DHD or another method like raw electricity, or in one case, lightning. So let's say there's a DHD. On the DHD, there will be the 38 or 36 symbols that appear on the corresponding Stargate. To dial another Stargate, you will need to input the correct combination of 7 symbols. 6 symbols correspond with 6 points in space to locate the destination Stargate, and the 7th symbol is the user's point of origin. Once you have correctly pressed the 7 symbols on the DHD, the last action to activate the Stargate is to press the center red for the Milky Way galaxy or blue for the Pegasus galaxy button to activate the Stargate, thus completing the dialing process. If without a DHD on a Milky Way Stargate, as long as you power the Stargate with some form of power that you bring with you, the inner ring can freely spin and thus you can dial manually. Using the symbols on the inner ring, the method of manually dialing requires you to rotate clockwise the inner ring to line up the first symbol of the address to the top chevron to encode. Once encoded, you then rotate counterclockwise for the second symbol and then clockwise for the third, and so on until the 7th symbol. Once the 7th symbol reaches the top chevron will lock and it will automatically activate the Stargate, so make sure you're clear of the Stargate. So upon activation of a Stargate, the gate will convert the mass amount of energy into creating an artificial wormhole. This produces a violent burst of energy known as an unstable vortex or kaoosh. This is due to the large amounts of energy needed to form a stable wormhole. This event will destroy any matter that comes into contact with it. However, if the event horizon is blocked within a few microns, like the Earth iris, the vortex will be suppressed and will not form. Once the vortex recedes back into the event horizon, it becomes safe to pass through. Once an object passes through the event horizon, the Stargate dematerializes the traveler and converts them into energy that is then sent along the matter stream to the receiving Stargate, where then the receiving Stargate rematerializes them back to normal. Travel through a Stargate though is strictly one way from the dialing gate to the receiving gate for only solid matter. Although radio waves and other forms of energy can travel both ways through an open Stargate, this is not a limitation of the wormhole, but of the technology of the Stargates. Wormholes will transmit anything that enters them, but no solid matter could survive the process. Thus, each Stargate in the pair takes on a specific role. The dial-in Stargate converts the traveler into its most basic components, subatomic particles, and transmits it through to the receiving Stargate, where the receiving Stargate reassembles the transmitted matter back into its original form. Doing this in reverse is not only fatal for the traveler, but will just result in the dialing gate deconstructing the object upon arrival, converting it into energy. It is somewhat unknown what would happen though if someone entered the Stargate via the backside rather than the front. Tilk in the show once stated that he knew someone who attempted that on one occasion and that his death was, quote, most unpleasant, but further details are unknown, so I would advise not to try. Under a normal dialing sequence, the Stargate, once completed the travel and no longer detects matter or energy signals, will automatically shut down on its own after a few seconds. If though the Stargate detects something in its matter stream like a physical object or matter or an energy wave like a radio signal, the gate will remain open, thus not to destroy the object in the matter stream. However, the gate can only remain open for a maximum of 38 minutes on normal circumstances, upon which the gate will shut down on its own, regardless of what's in the gate, vaporizing the object into atoms. So, that covers the basic knowledge of the Stargates in the Stargate universe. There are many other things a Stargate is capable of outside its main design, but I will save that for another video. I hope you enjoyed learning about the Stargate in this explainer. I tried to keep it down to the important stuff, otherwise I could talk for hours on this topic. But with that being said, this is my first video for my new channel, Sci-Fi Nerd, where I will be talking about Stargate, Star Wars and Star Trek and many other sci-fi shows. So if you enjoyed the video and want to see more like this, please comment and subscribe for more to help grow my new channel. I've been your host, Dr. McKay, and it's been an absolute pleasure to bring you this video, and until the next one, thank you all for watching. Cheers and goodbye.